welcome. So today, as you can see, I've managed to get a PlayStation 5. This is the digital edition, so it's the one that doesn't have a disc drive essentially. Now, I've had every PlayStation console since obviously the original PlayStation 1 back when it released in around 95, I think. And yeah, I've managed to get one. I would like to have had the disc version for obvious reasons. However, because stock is still a factor, and essentially because of the way the kind of games industry is moving, and we are getting to a point where people do tend to download more than going into physical shops, especially with the kind of year that we had in 2020, it just made sense to kind of get one that's a digital and it's a little bit cheaper. So this is capable of 8K, however I've only got 4K TV, so I'll only be able to play at 4K, HDR and the whole shebang. So I'm just going to unbox this, and this has been my kind of very first impressions. I've not actually been able to get my hands on one, so I don't actually know what it kind of feels like, or it looks like, what the weight of it is, or anything about it, other than it's obviously got a NVMe SSD inside it, and it's capable of ray tracing and all that shebang. Let's take it out of its sleeve, because PlayStation have this habit of there we go, move it out of the way, of having this kind of sleeve that just covers a generic white box typically. Nothing really super fancy, it's just one controller and a console that should be in there. It should be just yep, so just got the PlayStation logo on the white box, nothing else to really distinguish it. And I'm hoping this is actually a PS5 because I got it from Amazon. And I paid actual price, I didn't pay scalper prices, because I am not paying scalper prices for anything, including a GPU. I know that at the time of making this video, they're both in short supply, but realistically, just wait a little bit. It's not worth paying inflated prices for anything. So, first off, the new DualSense controller with its haptic triggers. Again, I can't really tell anything because it's not on at the moment, so I won't be able to tell what the difference is. Buttons feel a little bit firmer than the PS4 ones. A bit more bounce back. Sticks feel definitely a lot firmer, but that could also just be because my PS4 at this point, you know, is getting on a bit. Inbuilt microphone with a microphone switch, or well, I think it's actually a button to toggle microphone on or off. Headphone jack at the bottom, but also connecting pins, so we can put this into a charging station. We have our touchpad / button. This has a glow around it. I believe it colour changes depending on which user or player it is. This time it's USB-C, which is a lot better. Apparently you can get about 10 hours out of it. Don't know. We have our PlayStation button, we have our inbuilt speaker, we have our new create button, which is essentially the share button, and our menu button here. Just try and throw this out of the way. Our power plug. So obviously UK version, it's basically a kettle lead style plug. Guarantee. Quick start guide and safety guide and all that generic rubbish. Oh, come on, out you come. What else is in here? Something else rattling around. Now this is something I never actually got with my previous consoles, although some people did get them, is because this console can be either vertical or horizontal, they have actually included, for me at least this time, a stand. I never got a stand with my PS4 or PS3, and I had the original launch ones of both of those consoles. At the moment I'm running a PS4 Pro, got rid of my PS4 and standard. But that is actually quite nice to have just a stand. I'm probably not going to even use it, but to actually have it is nice, I suppose. We have HDMI cable, not super long. We have our USB-C cable, so this will be for charging our controller. And that's all that's in that little white top box. Now I've got to get the console out. So this one is going to be a bit interesting. Oh. It's got a bit of weight to it, I can say that for a fact straight away. Nothing else in there. Clatter clatter. Take away its little holdings. And unwrap this. Oh, there we go. Come on. Oh, blimey, knocking everything over. There we go. That is the PS5. I'm trying to work out what size that is. So, controller is about nearly 3 controllers in height. Controller is about hand in size, so it's about 3 hands in height. Again, depends on what size your hands are, I suppose. That's not really a good measurement. On the back we have our two USB ports, so these are both standard USB 3.0 by the look of it, by the fact that it's a blue tab. Might be 3.1, although they tend to be orange or red typically. Our Ethernet cable connector, our HDMI and our power plug. Kensington lock here. At the front we have a USB-C and another USB, and this looks like a standard USB port. Again, it might not be, it's just hard to tell. A power button down here, because this is the discless version, it's a bit thinner. The disc version actually has a bit more weight to it, a bit more width to it. And I imagine that one will also have an eject button. It's 825 gigabytes internal storage, although you can actually, well, you will be able to soon upgrade the memory by having an external hard drive plugged in, like you can with a PS4. And I believe, so it's definitely a plastic outside, and in the inside on the plastic, you're not going to be able to tell, but there are in fact tiny little PlayStation symbols, the square, triangle and circle, all just imprinted into the plastic there. 2 large fan intakes, smooth on the outside, rough on the inside. I believe it's the same with the controller. Yep, so the controller actual texture pattern on the back is loads of tiny PlayStation symbols. And yeah, what I've got to do now is I've got to go get this controller on charge, boot it up, and start downloading some stuff onto it. And then I can actually kind of give you, I don't want to say review, but a kind of my impressions, I suppose. But yeah, this is definitely going to take up a considerably more space than my PlayStation 4 on my setup downstairs. And although I didn't actually aim to get a PS5 this early, I was kind of, well, I say early, it's nearly June, but I wanted to get a PS5 whilst I had the opportunity to do so. But I do believe the stock issue will hopefully be resolved by the end of the year / into early next year. Largest issues being the size of the chips used in these tend to have a high failure rate in terms of production. I'm probably also going to be honest, what I tend to do with all my consoles is I will probably actually have this installed in the horizontal position. But yeah, this is my PS5. So try and move my gimbal camera around. And that's basically everything that we get in the bag. And I'm going to have to get a second controller and get some games on it, definitely. So, see you soon. Goodbye.